Hey everybody, Pete Warner here with this episode of the DCL Show, coming to you from the Disney Wonder. We're going to have dinner at Triton's tonight, and I'll tell you what, so far I'm not overwhelmingly impressed by the food in the main dining rooms. We've had 2 nights now that haven't been great. One we didn't review just because of some technical issues, but one we did, which was okay at Animator's Palette. But we'll see how Triton's is tonight. But before we get to that, just a reminder, this vlog, along with all the content we produce, brought to you by DreamsUnlimitedTravel.com. And if you like our content, please show your support. Book your next Disney Cruise Line vacation with Dreams Unlimited, and I'll give you one really good reason why. Actually, 2 really good reasons. Number 1, it's the same price as if you book with Disney directly. Number 2, we're going to give you a shipboard credit up to $1,000 that you're not going to get from Disney. So please, DreamsUnlimitedTravel.com. Started out with French onion soup. Now, if you paid attention to the review I did on Royal Palace, on the Fantasy, I believe it was, where I likened the French onion soup to French dishwater. French dishwater would have been an improvement over a French onion soup that, to me anyway, tasted like it was made with cleaning solution. It had a chemical taste to it. It had an aftertaste to it. But unlike the one in Royal Palace, this one actually had onions in it. I think the onions were poisoned. I think I'm going to die soon from eating this. I managed to get about 3 sips of it in my mouth before it was inedible. It was horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. My main course, I had the Chateaubriand, which I've gotten on other ships before and have consistently found it to be good. For whatever their process is of cooking the food, it seems to be the Chateaubriand's a pretty safe bet. It is not the best piece of meat you're ever going to have. It's good. It's good, is the best I can say about it. After that French onion soup, that's a rave. For my other starter, I had the fried pierogi, which was okay. It was good. It wasn't great. But it was not a corporal punishment against my taste buds the way the French onion soup was. When I tell you this French onion soup was absolutely horrific. I mean, it's funny how bad it was. I think to get it that bad, they actually had to try. They actually had to go out of their way and say, hey, let's make the worst French onion soup possible and serve it to people and see what they do. Now, not everybody at the table agrees with me on this, and that's fine. They're wrong, I'm right. But the pierogi was good.
I was literally crying, laughing, watching Pete. But he's not wrong. I love French onion soup. I get it at Steakhouse 71. I get it at the Grand Floridian Cafe. I get it at the Outback Steakhouse, and it's delicious. There's something about the recipe that Disney Cruise Line uses because the one at the Palace was bad, and this was worse. I didn't eat it, and I love French onion soup. I don't know what the problem with it was. I did like the fried pierogi more than Pete. A little bit of salt on it. I liked the friedness. I liked the potato flavor in it, and I loved the onions on it, and there was some chives to give it more of an onion flavor. I just thought it was really good. And then I got the vegetarian dish, which is a wild stuffed mushroom ravioli in a vegetable broth. And I didn't choose that because I'm a vegetarian. It's just I didn't like anything else on the menu that appealed to me. And it was really pretty good. I thought they were big raviolis. They were hot. The vegetable broth was nice. It was much better than the French onion soup. And I also had them bring me a slow roasted breast of chicken just to have some protein with it. And that was delicious. It was not a dry chicken breast. It was slow roasted and flavorful. A little bit of barbecue sauce on that, and that made me have a decent meal. But that starter, that French onion soup was bad.
So tonight we're at Triton's, and this is the first time I've ever eaten at this restaurant because they don't have it on the other ships I've been on. So I was really excited to come here, hoping that they had some really good seafood. So for an appetizer, though, I ordered escargot because DCL's escargot is one of my favorite things. I don't eat it anywhere else. So, and the thing is about this escargot is that they have these finely chopped mushrooms and they top it with garlic butter. And you guys have to understand that I hate mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms at all. But you don't even know that these things are topped with mushrooms. It is so good. So, so good. So some of the best escargot ever. So if you come on Disney Cruise Line, just give it a try. Don't think about what it is. Just try it. You'll love it. So, and then the other thing, I had to get a second appetizer because they had fried pierogi, which is served with roasted onions and sour cream, and it was so good. So the potato on the inside of these pierogies was just so perfect, and they pan fry them. They're not deep fried, they're pan fried, like sauteed, and so they have this little kind of light brown crunch on the outside. Really, really, really good. Loved those. And then for my main course, so they have salmon here, and I was asking a bunch of questions about it because they call it oven-baked Alaskan Salmon Royale, and it says that it has a horseradish crust, and I'm really sensitive to horseradish, so I wanted to know if they could take it off, and they couldn't take it off. So instead I ordered the Chateaubriand, and I ordered it with cooked medium, and it was perfectly cooked, really, really good. The potatoes, though, if they needed to add a little bit more butter, a little bit more cream before they whipped those babies up, because it wasn't like a mashed potato should be. Like it was just kind of bland, kind of not like a luscious mashed potato. So, but it comes with green beans. Those were really fresh and crisp, and I love that. So that part of that was really good. I had only eaten a few bites of the steak before I tasted the salmon, and the salmon was incredible. And I didn't taste a lick of horseradish. So if you're worried about spice or that sharpness of horseradish, but you really want salmon, don't hesitate to order it, because I'm super sensitive to horseradish or anything spicy for that matter. And it was really good. I didn't even finish one piece of my steak. I ate the whole salmon. So it was really, really fantastic. And the cauliflower puree that was on the plate with it was really good too. So I recommend that if you're a seafood eater. So, and especially, I mean, when in Alaska, you've got to eat Alaskan salmon. I mean, come on.
So for my starters, I actually ended up getting two soups for mine. I got the potato soup with leeks, carrots, celery, and knockwurst, which I learned today is a sausage. There was no knockwurst in my soup. There was definitely carrots and there was definitely celery. And it was supposed to have bacon as well. I did not have any bacon. I did not have any sausage. My potato soup was very bland. I am not one that salts my food. I usually do not put any kind of salt at all on my food. However, I said to the table, this feels like it needs salt. And for me to say that is a pretty big, that says it right there. It definitely needed more flavoring. It was pretty lukewarm. It was not a hot soup. It definitely lacked flavoring. However, that said, I did finish it. I finished every drop of it. I finished my entire bowl of the potato soup before moving on to my second soup of tonight, which was the French onion soup. And in a severe contrast of spectrum, I went from no salt, no flavoring at all, to what almost felt like too much salt. It was very, very, very salty. in comparison. It was very hot, which was wonderful, compared to the lukewarmness of the potato soup. I had a ton of onion. There was onion on top of onion on top of onion. It was fine. I would say I maybe ate a third of it. It wasn't great, but it was fine. Between the two, I mean, I guess the potato. Neither one of them were clear winners, but I finished the potato, so I guess we'll go with that one. For my main, I also had the Chateaubriand, and I don't really have a lot to say. It was tender, it was juicy, it was good. There were 2 pieces there. I only ate one, but I think at this point I'm just not hungry, and so that's why I didn't finish it. I probably could have finished it. The green beans were your standard green beans on a cruise. The potatoes, though, however, felt like school cafeteria potatoes to me, because they did not have any sort of anything. They were very, very stiff. They were very, very dried out. They had that just starchy, potatoey taste. So they were cafeteria potatoes to me tonight. Unlike other nights where they come in, they're super creamy and moist and just really, really delicious. These were not those potatoes. So we shall see how dessert goes for us.
For dessert, I got the strawberry shortcake sundae, which is strawberries, vanilla ice cream, whipped cream, and shortcake. It was good. I thought the shortcake that was in it was stale. It was like hard little squares. Other than that, it was nice, good, delicious ice cream, and really, really good strawberry compote. That tasted really good and was a little more tart than like a jam, so that gave it a nice flavor. I enjoyed it. I also did taste the apple tart, and that would have been, I would get that again if I was choosing again.
Okay, so I got the no sugar added option tonight, which is not normal for me. It's not usually the part of the menu that I turn to, but it's where I went tonight, and it was the Duo Chocolate Slice. This was layers of brownie and truffle mousse with a berry cream. And based on the fact that it had raspberries on the plate, I'm going to guess that that is what the berry cream was also made of. It's what it tasted like. It was the cream that was on the side was very, very light. So it was not a very heavy flavor. It wasn't a tart flavor. It was just a whipped cream with just a slight hint of berry. As for the brownie and mousse itself, it was very, very good. It was not overly sweet. It was not overly heavy. It wasn't even dense. It was just, I don't know how to describe it, but it was there. It was chocolatey. It tasted good. I ate the whole thing. I didn't feel overwhelmed by any of it. But it was a good dessert. It really was a good dessert. If nothing else on the menu, I like chocolate. I tend to go towards chocolate things when I choose a dessert, and it was a great option. I enjoyed it, so it was a good try.
So I got creme brulee for my dessert, and I always love a creme brulee because it's just so rich and fantastic. And they torch the sugar just perfectly because you smack your spoon on the top and you hear it crack, and it's the best. So it's always good. It's custard. I mean, how could it not be good, right? But our servers tonight were really cool because they brought us stuff that we didn't order just because they wanted us to try some of their favorite things, I guess. And this apple tart was actually the best thing ever. So it's like a vanilla bean ice cream with sliced apples and baked in this tart. Oh my gosh. So that was really delicious. And I might have to get that the next time I come here because that was actually really good. And I don't ever not order creme brulee when it's on the menu. So that says a lot. It was good.
Okay, so for dessert, a lot of things were ordered. I tasted most of them. The apple tart, tatin with caramelized baked apple, served with vanilla ice cream, was the best of everything I tasted. That was actually good. The Tahitian vanilla creme brulee with almond biscotti. Oh, there's the biscotti. Is the gluten-free option without the biscotti. It was good. I mean, I don't know how much more to say about it. It had a good vanilla flavor to it. The crust was well done without being burnt. Because sometimes they over-sear the crust on a creme brulee, and you end up with a mouthful of like burnt custard. So this was done well, but still for me, the apple tart tatin was the winner. It was the best dessert on the table. We also tried the regional inspiration, which we didn't get a shot of, but it was the summerberry pudding. Summerberries layered with white bread and double cream. I think I was the only one who actually thought that was all right. Was it great? No. But it was all right. But the apple tart won for me. So that is going to do it for this episode of the DCL Show. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again next time. Have a great week, folks.